Okay, so we do not have a quorum, therefore we cannot conduct the meeting as a special meeting. However, since we have everybody in the room and we do have some guests here, I think and there is no action that would come out of this meeting that would require voting. So the fact that we don't have a quorum and therefore we don't have an official meeting doesn't really matter. What I would like to do is to host this as a I don't know, referendum, open house, citizen petition kind of thing, so that we can hear what your concerns are. But also, Jeff, you brought some gifts, so if you could introduce the guests, and then I'll open the floor up for discussion, and then at some point we'll let the guests speak.
Okay. We have Yolanda Cooley from the DEP Boating Division. We have representatives from the Elks and Project Oceanology. I thought, as all partners of our waters here, thought everybody should be in the room discussing what we're going to be discussing tonight.
Okay, and for the record, I'm the mayor of the City of Groton. I also have Paul Norris, who is one of the city councilors, who is here. Okay. So with that, is there anybody who would like to speak?
Any questions? Go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, I have. Like to have an appreciation of status of the request for yearly funding of $20,000 for maritime patrol of Pine Island Harbor and Baker's Cove, brought up in October of this past year, 23.
Okay. So, how do we want to do it? Well, here's what I'm going to do. Let you speak, I'll answer the questions, and we'll go as we go along. Is that all right? Are you okay with that format?
Got a question though.
Because if you don't do that, you're going to give me a whole list of things, and then I'm going to forget.
So that's one question I have for this.
So let me answer this question.
Good.
And then Terry, I'll go to you. All right, so the funding was submitted by the chief in this year's budget. This year's budget has been approved by the city council. Now, what you may or may not know is that both the highway budget and the police budgets go to the town council for final approval. So the money was put into this year's budget. It has currently been approved by the city council, and this will go, I will submit these two budgets, although the highway doesn't have anything to do with this, but I will submit this police budget to John Burt at the end of February. And then, it'll go to the town council and then go to the RTM.
Very good.
Any other, is that it?
So the town, I appreciate, thank you for that. So the cycle would be, when would the town council be approving budgets if we wanted to go to a meeting to support that activity?
Okay, so this will happen a couple different, so you have the town council and then you have the RTM. John Burt will present his budget. So here's what happens. I send the police and highway to John Burt. He rolls that into the larger town budget. On the police budget, they pay, by tradition, they pay 50% of the police budget minus my chief's salary. So the city pays all the chief's salary and benefits and everything else. John Burt typically has a presentation, a budget presentation at the beginning of the season that is held at Thrive 55. I do not know what date that's going to be yet. As soon as we get that, I can get that to you guys so that you can go and then petition the council under citizens' comments to approve our police budget. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about dates, but if we can coordinate when they would do that meeting, then that's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, there's John Burt's presentation. Then the town council holds a meeting with the city. That is an open meeting, but citizens don't get to speak there. And then it goes to the RTM, and when the RTM opens their budget session, there's an opportunity for citizens petitions at that meeting as well. And those meetings have not been established yet. They're usually, John Burt and the town clerk will establish those meetings, and they publish a schedule. Thank you. Publish a schedule, and then we will get that information out to you when we get that. We don't have it yet.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Terry? Let me go back to the budget real quick. So, let me be clear on the budget. So the budget, the money that we're asking for is money that starts being allocated July 1st. So that is for July 1st. That's for fiscal year '25. The voting season typically starts around May. And so Chief has some money in this year's budget to get us between May and July 1st under this year's budget, and that will cover us for this year's budget, and then we have the full allocation amount for next year's budget. So I wanted to make sure that you guys fully understood the municipal budgeting, because it does split over the budgeting season, over the voting season, and I just want to make sure I was clear on what you can expect.
Well, what you brought up was, it was for the 25 year starts in July. So effectively, there's a gap in funding between now and to try to put in place a Marine Patrol for the calendar year '24.
Yeah.
Is going to be coming out of funds that you already have in place in the city budget for, in the police department.
For this year's budget, that was not anticipated.
Correct.
So the chief will need to manage his budget, meaning that something will not get funded in order to fund this. But the chief and I have had discussions, and he is very capable of managing a budget, and he will shift resources as required in order to ensure that we have a Marine Patrol. So does that answer the bigger question? Okay. All right.